Yella Home
with Anna Schofield
and Big Hass.
Big Hass flying solo. Shout out to Anna Schofield, and it's all good in the hood, like we say. Okay, I want to shout out Jack from USAT. Thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you so much for the amazing messages, and salute to the brother Jack. Just before the headlines, let me tell you about this thing I was reading. It's an incredible, really news. So, a couple in America had a baby girl right after 14 boys. Mashallah. And the father of the baby and his wife are feeling so happy after 14 kids who were boys. Finally a girl was born, and the girl's name is actually Maggie. So subhanallah, this is it's beautiful news, really. And the comments on the post is like, oh wow, I didn't know that in America the culture that you can get a lot of kids like that, because that seems to be like a in this part of the region. But I'm like, yeah, we're human. That's what matters.
This is Pulse 95.
You're listening to Pulse 95 Radio. Big Hass taking over your radio, flying solo today. Anna Schofield is doing mama duties, which is all good. I don't know what you guys think about this, but if you have any opinion, please share with me. I'd love to know what you think about this. 4215, text us right now. Okay, so expert shares text etiquette in the UAE. He's saying, or she's saying, I don't know if it's he or she, a message must only be 30 seconds long. What do you guys think about this? Professional development coach Ammar Al-Shawqi, he's a he, gave tips on how to navigate the challenges in communicating via texts in an era when old-fashioned phone calls has been replaced with text and social media messages. There are some do's and don'ts that some people may not be aware of. At a social media session entitled Text Etiquette, held on the Sharjah Reads virtual platform as part of the Sharjah International Book Fair, professional development coach Ammar Al-Shawqi gave these tips, and he said one important guideline, it's that 30-second rule. It is crucial, he said, crucial not to send very long messages or texts. You risk losing the attention of the recipient when a text takes more than 30 seconds to read. I don't know what I think about that, and I'm pretty sure if Anna Schofield was here, she voice notes her sister for like 7-8 minutes. I don't know. I think it's, I don't think there's an etiquette for a text message, but anyway, maybe I'm wrong. He's saying that if a message is too long and would take more than half a minute of a person's time, then it's best to make it a call. So yeah, I hear you. Sometimes when the message is long, I wouldn't read it. But it depends if I really care or not. So that's what I would answer Ammar Al-Shawqi. He also said and pointed out that it was important not to ridicule someone's through text. Always double check to ensure the autocorrect facility is not messing up any text or the name so that you don't embarrass yourself. I am definitely there. I got embarrassed a lot of times from this autocorrect. I hope they take it out. But for a lot of people, they use it. They use it, and it's cool. Let me know what you think about this. Is there a certain etiquette that you follow? Do you think 30 seconds is too long? 4215, text us right now. We're going to be right back.
Yella Home
Anna Schofield
and Big Hass.
Yella Home, Big Hass, flying solo for the day. Okay, let's talk. There was this article that was released about a couple of days ago, I believe, and I'm just kind of, getting into it right now. 11 American Muslim celebrities have opened up about their faith, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm a big advocate when it comes to telling our own stories, right? I think the narrative is something very, very important. I think I need a more serious kind of tune behind this. Let's see, maybe this works. All right. Yeah, this works, what I'm talking about. So I'm a big advocate when it comes to telling our own stories. When you see Hollywood and when you see, the West, how they depict especially Arabs and Islam and stuff like that, it's not always correct and it's not always accurate. And I think it's important to have voices from within. And that's why I'm always very vocal about young talent who are speaking, their mind. And I think, that's crucially important. So, I'm going to give you 11 names that were open about their faith, from musicians to actors to sport champions to people in fashion. There's numerous American Muslims who have actually created that path and trailblazed with that. They got bullied in the beginning of the career and they still get bullied, but these are the names. I think the first name, without a doubt, is the legendary Muhammad Ali. May his soul rest in peace and power. I have a picture of Muhammad Ali in front of me on my desk at home, and he's somebody that inspires me every single minute. It's just really incredible. He passed away 4 or 5 years ago, but he's a boxing legend, and he continued to motivate a generation of fans. And so definitely that's one name. Rami Yusuf, a good friend of mine. He's an Egyptian American writer. He created this groundbreaking comedy series called Rami. He actually says about, Rami is all about Muslims exploring their issues, that they face every single day in America. The show illustrates many of the challenges that are actually universal, and of course it's in a very funny, cool way. Rami is kind of like, he's like, Rami Yusuf was talking about Rami, and he's saying it's a very egotistical version of his. This is one name that's truly changing the perception of Islam in America. Bella Hadid is a supermodel, and she's never been shy about expressing her pride in her faith as in Palestinian heritage. In the 2017 interview with the Porter magazine, she revealed how her life had been shaped by her father, who's a real estate, of course, mogul, Muhammad Hadid. And she says that he was always, religious, and he is always prayed with us. And she's always very proud about her Palestinian, descent, and she's a proud Muslim. Another name. Let me know if I'm missing a name, and if you want to highlight a name. 4215, text us. Dave Chappelle. And if you haven't seen the latest Saturday Night Live, talk by Dave Chappelle, definitely go see it, and go to Netflix as well and watch that that session with David Letterman with My Guest Needs No Introduction. Chappelle said he was first drawn to Islam as a message at 17. And he did say that it's a beautiful religion, and the ideas in the religion are reflected in all major, of course, Abrahamic faiths. He talked about, with David Letterman, about how there was a pizza store next to his place, and the people that were running the pizza store were Muslims, and he was asking them questions, and he just felt, intrigued and curious, and then, obviously converted to Islam. Akon is another name, an incredible, singer. We had the pleasure of meeting him. Ibtihaj Muhammad, we had the pleasure of meeting Ibtihaj last year at the Sharjah International Book Fair, which was really remarkable for me. I was shaking in the interview. She's the first American athlete to compete in the Olympics Games in a hijab. The 2016 bronze medalist, pioneering the journey, definitely shook the world. And, she's remarkable in every single way. There's many others named, but I'm going to end with a couple more. DJ Khaled, of course, Palestinian-American hip-hop artist, producer, mogul. He's somebody who's also representing, Islam and his heritage. Last but not least, I got to tell you about the Iron Man. Iron Mike in the building. Because, he's very, very vocal about that. Very, very vocal. And he actually says, when I first became Muslim, I didn't look at it as it should be. Then when I did that, and I believed that God created everything, I learned to love all of God's creation. Whenever I come to the Middle East, I become more God conscious, because I don't always make my prayers. And here you are reminded with the calls to prayers. I'm very aware when I come.
Yalla Home
With Ella Schofield.
and Big Hass.
It is Big Hass flying solo for the remainder of the day. Shout out to Anna Schofield doing mama duties. Okay, let me talk to you guys about Noura Al-Ka'bi. She's building her world with silent voices. I'm gonna tell you more. She's incredible. I've had she's a writer. She's a young writer, an author. I found her book in Sale Publishing at the Sharjah International Book Fair. What's fascinating about Noura? She's characterized by intelligence, very quick wit, although she's a person of determination, as she suffers from, as she's deaf, but uses sign language in dealing with those around her. So she wrote a book called The Silent Voices. Noura Al-Kaabi has strong determination and uses a lot of that. So I was talking about representation and sticking up to what you believe in always. And this is, I think, truly remarkable to have, someone who's, they're writing about their experience. We will never, someone who's never been, in a certain situation, you'll never know how it feels. So it's just, for me, remarkable that this is happening. The book that Noura Al-Kaabi wrote, she remembers her mother with a sense of pride, saying, "We've always been looking for a book that represents Noura, representing her as a deaf child that stimulates her difference and distinction. And a dream of ours came true." Shout out to Sale Publishing for making that happen as well. And about the words that Noura wrote in the introduction to the book, which express the emotion and feelings in her mind, she says, "I'm an Emirati child who was born with complete deafness, and I communicate in sign language. I share, thoughts from my world with you." With these words, her mother confirms and explains, "With pride, this book is 100% Emirati project." And she adds, "Last year we participated in a workshop for writing children's stories organized by an Emirati company called Skill Lab. And we cooperated with the creative artist Aisha Al-Hamrani, who translated all the transparency of Noura's words into wonderful drawings." It's a unique experience. Noura's mom continues and says, Noura chose to name her first book Silent Voices to share with readers what wanders in her minds of questions, ideas, and voices. And the book story talks about our world, which consists of many voices. So Noura takes on a challenge to establish her personal identity in a world full of noise, and she is eager to actually find acceptance and search for its advantages. Wow. And at the end, you discover that we are all different in our own distinct way. The mom goes on and speaks about, how has it been? And she says she's undergoing a unique experience in the Emirati Child Parliament, and given the constant encouragement she encounters. Noura looks forward to the experiences of writing again with a new book and creativity. I'm telling you, beautiful book. I bought it from Sale Publishing, and shout out to the sister Iman from Sale Publishing. And we got to support our authors, and this is a great place to go there. Sharjah International Book Fair, obviously active until the 14th of November. Don't miss it. Go, elevate your mind, read, and try supporting, because it's really important. So Noura Al-Kaabi, Silent Voices, go check out that book. We're going to be right back, leaving you with an oldie. It's a really old song that was covered on the Music Greats by Anna Schofield.
Yalla Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big Hass.
Yalla Home with me, Big Haas, flying solo for the day. All right, I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen Ma Wara Tabi'a or Paranormal. Really cool. It's an Egyptian kind of horror series. I really loved it. Just finished it yesterday. And I think that the afternoon Karak will do some sort of review on it maybe tomorrow or so. But yeah, this is just, it was amazing. It is actually the first Netflix original to come from Egypt. And I loved it. I loved every single bit of it. I want to see if I can play a little bit of it right here. And it sounds like this.
طب أنا كمان بشوف حاجات تانية، بس مش عيني اللي بتشوف، ده اللي بيشوف.
It's a Netflix original
القوانين
series.
الوحيدة اللي أنا مؤمن بيها بدون إثبات علمي هي القوانين اللي حطها مهندس مشهور اسمه ميرفي.
And obviously it's based on a book, a legendary book, just before I get into the what is it about and stuff like that, I'm just really proud. This is like, I feel a sense of proud. This is I'm really, really proud. It's Paranormal, and it's a 6-part horror series based on the novels of best-selling author Ahmed Tawfiq. The show is actually set in the 60s, I believe, and follows the adventures of Dr. Rifat Ismail, which is done by Ahmed Amin. And, he's confronted by various supernatural, things, and he finds it increasingly difficult to explain with science. For me, you can't just compare. I heard someone the other day speak about it. Oh, let's compare it to like other like American or whatever it is. And he had a point because, once you're on a platform like Netflix, maybe we're all playing with the big boys, right? This is the big league. This is it. I just really, really enjoyed it. One thing, I definitely didn't get bored. So I don't know. I'm usually like, I usually get bored of series. And you talk to my wife, like, I can't watch more than maybe 7 or 8, but that's me maybe. I'm just saying I didn't get bored, and the story kept kind of evolving in a way. I'm not going to burn it for you, but the kind of first episode was like we're all getting to learn the characters. And you know what I liked about it? It was like it was horror. Horror, you feel like some sort of... but also was very Arabic, very Egyptian. And I love that. I love the fact that we're like kind of exporting that culture. I'm a big fan of that. The exporting how we are, what are the things that we go through, And the story itself, when it ends, it's a beautiful story. And I hope that there's a season 2, because there must be a season 2. It's so good. It's so good. I personally love it, and I wish it didn't end on that 6th episode. But yeah, let us know if you're feeling that, series, and if you like it. It's called Paranormal, and it's actually having English subtitles on it as well. We're gonna be right back.
Yalla Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big Hass.
It is Pulse 95 Radio. Yalla Home. Hit us up always on the social media at Pulse 95 Radio. Okay, I'm just reading this. There is an Indian girl. She's 5 years old. She's actually been named and has named 195 unrecognized UN recognized countries and their capitals in just 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Wow. She's based in the UAE, and she has registered for entry into Guinness World Records for a record after entering India Book of Records and Asia Book of Records, naming 195 United Nations recognized countries and their capitals in just 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Wow. Can you guys do that? Like, if you can, let's do it right now. We'll break the record. But this is crazy. Her name is Pranvi Gupta. And, it took almost 45 days to memorize the names of all the countries and their capitals from A to Z. Her father have said she's actually a student here in the UAE and managed to name them in all around 11 minutes before eventually cutting down the time to 4 minutes and 23 seconds. So that's the world record. Has registered to entry for Guinness World Records, which is incredible. Around the world in under 5 minutes, a UAE-based, student can name all the nations in a flash.
If you liked this episode of Yalla Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.